Hi, I'm Lakeisha,
Hey, I'm Natalie.
and this is
Life Cracks Us Up. Are you picking up what we're putting down? Are you enjoying the content? Is there feedback you'd like to provide or topics you'd like to discuss? How about you give us a call and share your thoughts? 757-504-4649. That's 757-504-4649. We would love to hear from you. Hey
Hey
girl.
there,
Hey
how you doing?
girl.
Hey.
Yo, I have on the loudest earrings in the whole wide world. Every time I shake, all I hear ching 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 ching. But I love them. I love them. I wore them out one day. It was windy. I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Uh, Actually, I was in the class one time and somebody had on some loud earrings and kept moving their head. I was like, please stop. Just
Right?
please stop.
Can you just sit like this, please, the whole time we're in here? If you agree with something, just do this. If you don't, just do this. Uh, so, how are we today? How are you?
We are awesome. Actually,
Yay.
yeah,
Awesome
yeah,
is
finally.
magnificent. Right, Tita? Okay.
Oh, you know what? You could
Girl,
always use someone else's toothbrush.
just the thought of it, I'm like, I have to
That's a
be careful
callback. That's
with,
a callback.
yes, I have to be careful though with lipsticks because if you smile wrong, the next thing you know, you got to, and
Hmm.
people won't tell you. I'd be like, excuse me, you got just,
No, for you, if it unless you're at Chick-fil-A, it's like, what did he say? You've got the prettiest teeth or something.
he was like, your teeth are so white.
What? Oh, yeah.
I was like, thank
Thank you. My pleasure.
you. Right. Glad I could be in your line today. That's because I be using other people's toothbrushes.
Ew.
Hercules, Hercules. What you got for me today? Ask me something
Question
hard.
question for you.
I'm ready.
Would you rather have theme music play every time you walk into a room, but you don't get to choose the genre, or have the hiccups every time you try to speak?
Ma'am, theme music me up. I don't care what genre it can be. It can be, I don't know, just the idea of having theme music every time I walk in a room. Can you say what?
I hate you so much right now.
That's right. Get him, police. Get him. I'll walk in like this. Like, I hate you. So, listen, theme music. I
I
feel like,
become so numb.
yes, see, Lincoln Park. Absolutely. Listen, listen. Have you ever seen I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker?
Oh yeah. Oh, I won't. You know what? That's something I would watch again.
Oh, girl, I was getting ready to come at you hard. Ooh,
Yes.
Lord have mercy. That would be me. Every good superhero needs theme music. That's your girl. That's your
Okay.
girl.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a no brainer.
How come you haven't put that movie on our list to watch?
Put it. I will watch that every single time. When
But you
Anne
know, there's
Marie
probably some.
Johnson starts taking everything
Take
off
it
and that
out.
leg and that, listen,
Ooh, don't make me hop after you.
she was like, "Yo, yo, I'm gonna get you, sucker."
Was I supposed to answer the
So,
question as well?
yes, what would you rather?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, definitely do the theme music. Is yeah, hiccups hurt. It's like it's like
It's
so
just hiccups are
uncomfortable.
just annoying. Like, ugh.
Annoying. Yeah, what's the purpose? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, music. Yeah, yeah, music. Good music. I walk in and out of a room all day. If the song's not what I want, I'll back up and come back in and get a new song.
It keep coming to new songs. Listen, I don't care if it's suddenlissimo. As long as
Oh,
it's
oh,
my theme music, I'm here for it. Just
we
saying.
can do it. We can do it.
Okay. Um, would you I don't know which one I want to do.
Hit me with your best shot. That's another one. Hit me with your best
Best
shot.
shot. Is that Pat Benatar? Come on and hit me with your best shot. Pat Benatar, right? Hit me
I have
with
no
your
idea.
best shot. Fire
Fly
away.
away.
You're a real time cooking with a whole history. You know I'm gonna know the
Okay,
song.
see, I know.
Um, I feel like we did this question before. Um, okay, okay.
Did I have to kill
Would
a
you
gingerbread
rather?
man? Is that what you're gonna ask me?
No, no, no. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Would you rather eat five live worms or be locked in a room with I don't know why I chose this one. I can never say the word on the first try. A
Tarantula.
tarantula. Yes. Would you rather eat five live worms or be locked in a room with a, say it
Tarantula.
right, and not know where it is?
The answer to the question is no.
Pick one.
Oh, oh, you get me. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to pick the tarantula, but we're leaving the lights on. We're leaving the lights on.
Okay, so that wasn't even part of the question. So my assumption was the lights are no, 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 no. I'm with you because my assumption is the lights are on. So I'm going with you on that one.
Oh, oh gosh.
Give me the tarantula.
I
Five
tell
live
you.
worms.
Oh no, no,
I might
no,
have been able to
no.
do one,
I can't even do
maybe.
one.
I mean,
No.
like if my
Mm,
eyes are closed and it just goes to the
mm-mm.
back of my throat and just swallow,
No,
maybe.
ma'am. No,
But I
ma'am.
don't listen. As long as that tarantula stays wherever it's at, and I'm wherever I don't give a shit. I can watch a whole
Mm-mm.
movie with a tarantula in a room if I don't know where it's
You stay
at.
over there. You stay.
That's what I'm
I don't
saying.
feel like.
I'll know if it's on me,
Oh, it's on your head. It's on your head.
but you'll know, right? I don't care
Eventually.
when you're frothing at the mouth and that's how them girls' eyelashes be looking.
Oh God, you see them come in the room before they do. Like that's got to be heavy.
Girl,
That's something.
I
It's
don't
like it's got to
understand it.
be. Yeah, I don't.
I don't
I don't
understand
know.
it. And some of them look really pretty. Like I have seen the falsies that look really
Yeah.
pretty. They look
Oh
natural,
yeah.
a little longer than what you
Nice and
think,
full,
the
right?
eyelash. But listen,
But the ones that come out, why do you need them? Over, I don't even understand why they
and the
make them that
color
long. Because
ones,
nobody has them that long. I don't think I've seen colored ones.
girl, I will send you a picture because you know me, I'm quick with my camera. We were in McDonald's. Well, she works at Walmart. Well, she works at a Walmart in a specific city. Um, but they're rainbow, and her hair is rainbow.
Oh wow,
So they're rainbow. Give me a minute. When we're done
interesting.
here, I'm gonna send you the picture of her because I sure was in McDonald's. We saw her at McDonald's, and I was like, hey, I was like, look, girl. I was sitting there like,
No, did I tell you that somebody was chewing me out one time, but I could not concentrate on what they were saying because the little lash was flipping.
it was all funny getting cussed out.
Right? And I guess the lash was cussing at me too.
That's terrible. That's terrible. I
Oh gosh.
so I thought like this next topic I think is gonna be so dope because I'm not married and you are married for quite some time.
Quite some time.
So when you're thinking about the pros and cons of being married, because it's different for each sex, it's different for each person. Now, I didn't consider same sex marriages.
And as soon as you that when you said
Soon
this,
as
oh,
I
I
said
didn't
that, right?
either.
I did
I
not
didn't
consider
either.
that. So for all of my LGBTQ plus, my bad. Today we're going to be discussing just men and women. I
Yes.
imagine some of these will apply anyway. So it's but when you think of the pros and cons, I think it's different for men than it is for women. Um, just some, just kind of just doing a quick search for men. The pros, the emotional support, they get that stable partner. Hopefully that bitch is stable.
Hopefully. No.
Studies show that men have better health and live longer
Mm-hmm.
when they're married to a stable. chick. All of these are based on stability. All of these are based on the fact that you're not married to a crazy person. Um, Increased financial stability. I think that's probably a pro for both. Stronger social network. And higher life satisfaction. They're just happier. Again, assuming she's not batty, batty, batty. What are your thoughts?
I definitely concur with that. Because I know my husband got the best wife, so he got
Yeah.
all of those. He got all of those positives on most days. On
I
most days,
concur.
but when the sun doesn't come out too many days in a row, then he might have some problems.
He might not agree with the pros. But I
But
mean,
go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, like, some of the same pros go for women. Women, because women are supposedly more emotional than men, depending on the guy, I guess. But women, some of the pros are emotional security, financial benefits. You get to combine two incomes. Social acceptance. I don't know if I agree with that. But it says in many cultures, marriage brings social respect and validation. I don't know that I agree with that for in the
This
US, but
country,
that
yeah,
may be
yeah.
the way. Yeah, yeah, that may be the way in some countries. Family and parenting support, assuming he doesn't dip the minute you have a kid or the minute things get tough. And some health benefits. Some studies suggest that married women experience better mental health. And again, could be,
Could be.
could be.
Now, do I agree with those facts?
Well, I mean, we can go back. I just wanted to kind of bring the pros that, that I came across for both men and women. Let's break them all down, shall we? So,
Shall
the
we?
emotional support for men. Would you agree or disagree?
I'll definitely, absolutely agree. Because
Mm-hmm.
women, we tend to be cheerleaders. We got your back. So yeah, rah rah, sis boom ba.
um, a stable partner provides emotional security and companionship. I would also agree. I do think that that could be a pro for both, but since we're right
That-
now, we're just kind of talking about the pros for men. I do agree. I think that women are more emotional, but at times I would argue that women are more in check. And I know guys are going to disagree with this, but women, while yes, we're more emotional, we might have a better understanding of our emotions and have better, I don't want to say better control.
I think it's emotional intelligence. I think is maybe
Maybe
being
that's,
in
yeah.
tune with your emotions and understanding how they work and when you need to escalate and when you may not.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when I escalate, it's for a good reason. But yeah, I
Right.
think it's the emotional intelligence portion is what you're referring to.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not to say that men don't have it, but I don't think that they tap into it as
Exactly.
deeply as women do.
Exactly.
So that's why the arguments are the way, the types of arguments and 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 life decisions. That's why they're so different for men and women because we tap into our emotional intelligence differently and we have more.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Better health and longevity. Studies suggest married men tend to live longer and have fewer health issues. I definitely agree with that.
Because we make them go to the doctor.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not gonna die on my watch.
No, sir, no, sir. You're gonna go and get all of that prostate.
All
You're
of
gonna
it.
get all of that stuff
All of
done.
it.
But it's
All
true.
of it.
Most times, it's women who make doctor's appointments. It's women
Hmm.
who make decisions in terms of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think men live longer when they're married because the wife keeps them alive longer.
That keeps them alive, right? You're not getting out
Like
of here. You're
quite
not leaving
literally,
me.
quite
Right,
literally.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put all this energy into it. No, you're gonna stick
Yeah.
around, partner.
But not only that, men make different decisions when they're married. They drive more carefully because you have someone that you have to get home to. If you have a family, you have a family that you have to get home to. A lot of men make different decisions with careers and work. You may not go in there cussing everybody out because you're going to get fired. You make that decision. Let me calm down a little bit because I have a family. I have
Hmm.
obligations at home. So I
Oh
do
yeah,
think
my husband
that,
would have. He probably would have had a. He would have had a motorcycle. So
yeah,
nah, I love you too much.
you wouldn't, he
Yep.
wanted one and you didn't let him, or,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that I didn't let him. I discouraged it. What I told him was, I love you too much for you to get a motorcycle, but if things change, I'll buy you one.
if I ever let you get one or buy you one, please know that
You know,
we're on the verge of breaking up.
yeah, yeah. So if one shows up in the driveway with a bow on it,
Yeah, yeah.
ride
Please
off into
know
the
that.
sunset.
I do think that even decisions like that are based on, now some men and women ride together, which I think is so dope.
Oh,
I
sure,
got my
sure.
Yeah, I got my motorcycle license, and the only time I've driven a motorcycle, excuse me, is during the class to get my motorcycle license. So when we finished and we kind of graduated, the instructor was like, "Congratulations, you now have a license to drive in a parking lot." Because quite literally, we never hit the road. We
Oh,
learned in a
wow.
parking lot. You know what I mean? So he had a point.
Hmm.
You now have a license to you now know how to drive a motorcycle in a parking lot.
And a
And I
parking lot.
think the point he was trying to make is don't go out here going crazy.
They're right. Like the ones that go in between the cars and
Oh
yeah,
gosh,
it
they
was
make me
the
so
crotch
nervous.
rockets. Yeah, the one
So
where they're
nervous.
like, no sir, no
And
sir.
then they
You will
speed
you
up
gonna get
once they get
you
through
gonna get a
traffic and they're
cruiser.
just like, phew.
He
Oh,
gonna get one, he kick back.
I gotta be old for a cruiser. I gotta be old. I gotta be My dad
Ma'am,
had one and it was nice too. It was a Harley. It was
you know
nice. I
you old,
probably have
right?
that picture around here somewhere.
You
It
know
was
you
nice.
old already.
Says who? Says who? Prove it.
Says our birth certificate.
Right. Did you hear me? Look, I said prove it. I can prove it if I sneeze right now. My back will go out. If I'm bent over for too long trying to tie my shoe, my back will go out. I cannot
Got
see
that.
anything on the screen in front of
Got
me. I
that.
just see brown haze
You gonna get
and
that
my
orthopedic
lipstick.
motorcycle.
I can see, yes, I see brown haze in my lipstick. Sorry, y'all, I'm on
Oh.
Eminode, but I've been battling with this little itty bitty cold for like
Mhm.
a few days now. But yeah, so far we are in agreement on the pros for men.
Correct. That is
Um,
correct.
Increased financial security. Excuse me, strike that, reverse it. Increased financial stability. Dual income households can improve economic security. That's a no brainer. You're combining two incomes. That's a no brainer. That's, I
Well,
think, is a pro for men and women.
counterpoint. If your spouse works,
If she's not at home making podcasts.
making podcasts, baking cookies, and making podcasts.
Ma'am, you bringing in income from your baking.
Yeah, that
You
whole
do
$12.
generate income from your baking, so
That's
yeah.
right. I bring in that $10 a month.
If you don't cut it right now, well, shit. With the price of eggs, you're in the negative. You're in the red.
Girl, I
But
desire to bake now, and I'm like, ah.
yeah. So we would both agree then that the increased financial stability is obvious. That's a no-brainer. If you have two
If you combine
incomes,
the two incomes, right,
if
right.
you combine it, and I think that's a benefit for both men and women. That's
Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, Stronger social network. Marriage often leads to stronger family and social ties. I would agree with that. Would you?
I mean, it depends on if if you're close to your family. Either of you, because not everybody is. So
Well,
it
yeah,
could be a
no, not
non
everybody
factor.
is. Yeah, no, not everybody's close with their family, but we're gonna make some assumptions here that there are good relationships on both sides. Maybe, I don't know,
Mhm.
because you are combining families when you get married
Yeah.
for the most
Yeah,
part.
so and like building your village, I guess. I'm always talking about a
Yeah,
village. So yeah,
yeah,
so that way you got more people to watch the kids when y'all go out or okay. So yeah, I can agree with that. Yes, you get a
yeah,
bigger village when you combine.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Higher life satisfaction. Many married men report greater happiness and fulfillment. Duh.
Cuz we tell them they're happy.
How would they know?
you you are fulfilled, sir.
Now, mind you, this is me making assumptions because I don't have a husband. So I'm guessing that if I were married, that these are the things that I would bring that would benefit my husband if I were his wife.
Yeah, because
Um
I like satisfaction. Like I try to make sure that I do things that make him happy. Like he may not, because he loves the outdoors. I hate
mhm,
going outside,
mhm,
but so he probably wouldn't plan a trip to go outside. To go to the
right.
mountains or whatever. But I would plan that for him,
Yeah.
for us, because I
Yeah.
know he enjoys it. So yes, you're gonna get the opportunity to go out and do something you might not have done.
Yeah.
If I didn't say, hey, let's go have
Yeah.
some fun. Let's go do some things
Yeah.
you really enjoy doing.
Yeah. And that also plays into just having different experiences, things that you would not have done had you not been married. You never would have been outside doing camp, whatever the case may be. You never would have done that. So you get to experience different things if you're open to what the other person is into.
That's a good point. You're
Threesomes,
absolutely. You're not really,
threesomes.
really.
I mean, I'm just
that's
saying.
what, and that's what he was like. Yeah, he's like, no, I'm just kidding. Unless you're into it,
Unless you're gonna do
unless you're
it.
gonna do it. If not, I was
Mhm.
just kidding. I was just kidding.
Yeah, but you get to learn different things. Like, and I mean, I don't have to be married to know that. I've experienced different things just from different relationships. Stuff that they like to do. So yeah, different experiences. Some of the pros for women: emotionally emotional security. A committed partner can provide emotional stability. True. I'm thinking what they're saying is it kind of keeps you even keeled. You know what I mean? Having a partner just kind of, you're not all up and down, up and down. I think that's what it's trying to say, because
Okay.
dependent on your partner though, they can make you.
Wait, okay. Yeah. So okay. So yeah, that part is right. I would say because I've told my husband before, I have the potential for flying off the handle. I said,
Mhm.
but he's gonna pull me back like, don't go out there acting a fool fighting, so we're gonna even each other out. So yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so yeah, we emotional support to keep each other kind of even keeled because most of the time, like if he's up, I'm down, or vice
Hmm.
versa, and we kind of bring each other to
Hmm.
okay, so okay, that makes sense. I concur.
Okay. Okay. All right. Financial benefits, shared income can lead to economic stability and security. That's what we said about the guy. That goes for both sides. As long as
Both
you have
exactly.
someone who's, if both parties are in it financially, then yes, each one benefits from the other. Family and parenting support. I mean, I would agree with that. In raising children with a partner can be easier than doing it alone. That's a no-brainer. Now, notice it said it can be,
Yeah.
because if you got if you have a spouse who just adds on to the fucking child count,
Right.
he or she is not bringing anything to the,
No benefit.
right, no benefit. Um, you know what phrase I hate? When, let's say the
I know where
female
you're going.
yes, let's say the female's on her way out with the friend. Oh, Johnny's watching the kids. Or Johnny, is he
Or he's gonna babysit. He's gonna babysit.
there
No,
is kids.
he gonna be daddy. He just gonna be daddy
Yes.
like I was just mama. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so and so is babysitting. Is he? Or is he just being a
Nah.
dad
Right.
while
Do
you're
your
out?
job, man. Do your job. Yeah.
Right.
What? Here we go again.
Mm.
You pushing some buttons.
Girl, yes, yes. See, I don't have the the male counterpart in my life to, with my girls. It's just me and my girls. Um, but how dare I have to ask you to watch the
But you know,
kids?
I don't know. This is probably going off topic or even getting into the cons, but I I would say I used to feel guilty asking him to do something for the kids. I don't know, it's because he works and I don't, but there are times when I need to do some things and you are equal sharing in this parenting.
Right.
So, you should be able to fill in whenever I'm not. It's not like, you work all day, I do nothing, and I don't take
Yeah.
care of the kids. I don't
Right.
take them to appointments. But yeah, it shouldn't be an issue if we're
Exactly.
doing this thing together. But
Exactly.
again, like I guess I don't know if it's like I said because the woman, the mother takes on those things. It was a struggle for me in the beginning to say, hey, I need you to do this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
feel like I was being a bother or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
no.
And does
I
it
do it
also
99% of the time.
matter if they're stepchildren?
It shouldn't.
It should not. It
It
should
should not.
not. But, you know, bio mom is leaving out.
No, I
Hey,
think that
I'm gonna
no,
leave my three kids. You got them. Well, I go kick it with my girls or whatever. You're right. It should not matter
yeah, because
because
this is your
once you
partner.
marry that person,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. That's y'all's family.
yeah,
Whether it's his kids or her kids, they're y'all are responsible.
yeah.
Use all. How do you say it?
Use.
Use our.
Did you
Yeah,
say
you're
you?
all. You
The
you say
Utes.
you
The Utes. Did you say? Did you say? Utes. Yeah, the
you
two Utes. Oh, I'm sorry. Utes.
you. That's my
You're
cousin
on the
Vinny. For those
two.
of you who don't know.
And then he said the two defendants. Oh gosh, I love my cousin Vinny. That is clearly one of my favorite movies. Hey, Vinny Bag of Donuts. Been
we're
together.
we're talking about the Utes. Okay, I was talking
Yeah,
about
the Utes.
was
The
talking about
Utes.
the
Yeah, we was
Utes.
talking about the Utes. Um,
So
yeah,
yeah,
there
they're your
shouldn't.
Utes.
Yeah, there should never be a problem because when you married me,
You
you
married them.
right. Yeah.
You
Now
got
I'm not
them.
asking you to act like there's no father involved if there's a father in the picture. I'm not asking you to do that, but I expect you to treat my children as if you busted a nut in me and I gave birth. Does that make sense?
Yes, you illustrated it perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Marissa Tomei, my cousin Vinny. She was like, yeah. He was like, Your Honor, can you make is this the picture from the Soap and Suds? You know it is. Yo, I can do that whole movie. Anyway, I digress. Go back, go back. All right, so family and parenting support, health benefits. Some studies suggest married women experience better mental health. Word? Would you agree? This one I can't wait to
I
hear.
I would not agree. I would not agree because um I'm worried about him, me, the kids. I there's a lot for me to be concerned about.
Yeah,
So I mean, yeah, that maybe that mental support that when I
yeah.
fall off the edge, you can pick me up. But
Are
I feel like
you?
there's more for me to be worked up about.
Yeah, are you the bill payer? Like, do
You mean do I push
you?
the buttons?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Are
Yes,
you
yes,
responsible to make sure the mortgage is paid on time, the lights don't go off, like that kind of stuff? Yeah.
everything.
And
Yes,
like you said, if you're going anywhere, you're the planner, you're the shopper, you're the primary for the children. How the fuck is that better mental health?
it is not.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
is
Like
not.
I'm like I always like to remind people, I'm not married, but I've been in relationships where decisions had to have been made in a household. And I've always been that person. I've always been, you know, in charge of making sure everything's paid and the like
Mhm.
that's stressful. Like all the time that's stressful.
Okay, let me give you an example. A point. Yesterday, yeah, yesterday morning, I woke up and went to the bathroom, turned on the water to wash my hands. There was no hot water. I was like,
Mm.
so first thing I do is run around the house like checking to make sure there's no water leaking somewhere. And when it was, the next thing I do is like, did I pay that water bill?
I do that anytime. If my lights flicker, I'm like, did I pay the light bill?
And it's like, and it's
Yeah,
funny because the email said your bill is coming due today or something like that. I was like, they would have turned it off.
you're right. And you literally went and checked, right? Yeah, I do all this. Yeah. Let this light
but we
flicker.
had
And I'm
a
like, did I pay that?
but we had a pipe burst.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, yeah. So I had to take care of that today, trying to coordinate everything yeah, it was a big mess.
Yep.
And so no, I am not better mentally.
Right. Yeah. I think being now, if you're in like a 50-50 kind of thing, I guess I can see where maybe, that would ring true. But if you're the person who handles what if you forget something and something happens? It's all on you. Like, oh man, I fucked up. Like I didn't.
I did. I did.
What'd you forget?
So, okay. Since we're all friends here, we're all friends. Um, Once upon a time, we actually filed bankruptcy many, many
Hmm.
moons ago. And before that, we had this conversation because I wasn't managing my money very well. I was not. He had to sit me
Hmm.
down. We had that budget talk. I was in tears.
Yo,
So,
I remember when you used to carry the cash in the envelope.
oh
Yeah, I
my gosh,
remember.
yes,
Yep. If
yes.
it
Oh
wasn't
my
in that
God.
envelope, it wasn't getting
I
bought.
couldn't spend it. Exactly.
Hmm.
So we got past all of that. But then, girl, I missed the mortgage payment.
A whole mortgage payment.
A whole
Like how?
long enough. I have no idea, and I still can't remember. Oh, I know. I had no, I don't know because I usually keep it in my book, so I
Yeah.
don't know. I have no idea. But when because he was like, "Did the mortgage company call you?" I was like, "No." So time passed. Enough time passed that they reported it to the credit agency. So what's that, like 31 days?
Yeah.
Girl, my credit score dropped so far.
Drastically. Yeah.
And he was like, can I talk to you?
I need to holler at you right quick.
Girl, it was ugly. Talk about stress.
Yeah.
But note to those people out there who may have experienced that or who may experience in the future. I didn't know you could call the company and be like, can we talk about this?
Yeah.
Can we talk about this? So yeah, so oh girl, I was in a frenzy for days till I heard
Mm-mm-mm.
back from them. But they fixed it because I'd never been late before, never
Yeah.
missed the
Yeah.
payment. Look, girl, I made the payment. I set up automatic pay. I switched back to paper bills so I could
Yeah.
make sure I saw. I mean, I did
Yeah.
all the things
Yeah.
and they fixed it. But talk about that stress. Oh my big goodness.
Yeah. So the cons for men, and I think that these might be more, I think these are more in line than the pros. So these are the cons. And again, this list is not all inclusive. These are just some of the things that financial responsibility, often expected to be the primary provider, which can be stressful. Loss of freedom, less autonomy in decision making and personal time. Legal and financial risks in divorce. Divorce can lead to financial losses, alimony, custody battles, child support. Increased responsibilities, household and familial obligations can feel overwhelming. Really, guys? And potential for emotional stress. Unhappy marriage can lead to anxiety and depression. So let's break them down. Financial responsibility, often expected to be the primary provider, which can be stressful. I would like to think that that would be a discussion you go into the marriage with, that it's not a surprise after you say, I do. Are you in agreement about if there's a financial provider? Because nowadays, 2025, women are also the primary providers in some relationships. Men are the stay at home or make less money, and the woman is the primary provider. Um, but I'd like to think that while it can be stressful, we talked about this before we got married, and that's what you agreed to. So, but I could be wrong. Thoughts?
Yeah. Um, I think that some men feel that, and I mean, let me back up and preface it with for my generation. Yeah, people are a lot different now, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I said, I've been married. Gotta say, I've been married over 20 years. So
Mm-hmm.
when back then, I would think the guys feel like, yes, I need to be the breadwinner. I need to support the family. I need to do that. So yes, it could be some added pressure, but now sometimes men can't handle the fact that the woman makes more,
Yeah.
which I don't understand why, because that just means there's more in the house.
I mean, if
Who
that's the case,
cares who's
then,
making it?
but if that's the case, then do better and make more money.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's
That's
true,
all
but
I
it
can
maybe not
say.
always be an option. Like, yeah, now he's got to get two jobs because she's a doctor, but he's um, I don't know, he's a secretary.
Well, he
It could
was
be
smart. He was smart and he married rich.
right.
I
Be
mean,
happy with that.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying too. Like, I don't care who's making the most money. If all that money is coming into the house for us,
Yeah.
but I guess it could be a pride thing for a man to. But who knows outside of your house? Like, who's telling who? You showing somebody your bank account? Who cares?
So when you got married, right? Did you have that financial talk before you guys got married? Like, because obviously careers also change over time. Where in the beginning, maybe he was expecting to be the breadwinner and that guy, but as time went on, was that a gnat? I'm sitting in all my plants, like I have plants surrounding me. Um, but maybe in the beginning the expectation was that he would be the main provider because at that time he was making the majority of the money. Time has gone on, now she's got this dope ass job that makes more money, so technically she's the primary breadwinner. But I guess
Yeah.
I can see where it could be stressful if you decide to be the primary breadwinner, and you're not getting any contribution to the household. No, I've never been in a relationship where only one person was bringing money in. Because even though you don't work full time, you still bring money into the house. Like it's not like you're not doing anything. You bring money into the house. I guess you would consider him the breadwinner.
For sure.
Right. Right.
For sure.
Does he express to you like, yo, this is mad stressful? Like, I don't, because I would like to think if that were the case that you would say, oh, I got you. I'll just go get a job. I know
Hmm.
saying that makes your
What
skin crawl.
one would think, but actually, when we got together, I made more than he did.
Right.
I made a lot more than he did,
Yeah.
and yeah, that brought about discussion.
Mm-hmm.
That brought about this because you know he was or is kind of old fashioned when we got
Mm-hmm.
together. He was an old man and a young man. I mean, yeah, old man and a young man's
Young
body.
man body.
So in his mind, he was thinking, I have to be the provider.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a little contentious at the every now and again. Oh, especially, and this is long, long, long time ago.
Long, 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 long,
Long,
long
long, long
time.
time ago. But like before we got married, like we were engaged, and so yeah, we're having these situations, these discussions. And I told him once, I don't remember how we got into it, but I was like, I don't need you. I
Oh,
want you. I
oh,
want you, but and as a man, all he heard was, I don't need you.
I don't need you. That's right. You see,
Right.
immediately I was like, oh,
But my thought is, well, yeah, my thought was that I'm telling you that I'm not with you because I need something from you. I'm with
mm-hmm.
you because I want to be with you.
Yeah,
That's the point I was trying to make. But
yeah,
maybe it's a man brain, and he just heard, I don't need you. And
Yeah.
it wasn't meant to be like that. I just want you to know I love you for you, not for anything you could be doing for me.
Mhm.
I don't care about the money like that. I'm
Yeah.
not marrying you because you make more money than me, or one day you're gonna let me quit my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't about that. So,
Yeah.
it depends. Like you said, you gotta have that conversation. You should go into it with a kind of an understanding, because money
Yeah.
is a big thing when
Money
you combine
will
and stuff in a relationship.
You will divorce over money.
Yeah.
So it is a conversation that should be had prior to any type
Oh yeah.
of engagement, marriage, anything. Like I think we've talked about it before about when is a good time to talk about certain things while you're dating.
Hmm.
Immediately. And
Yeah,
the
because
minute
you
you
gotta.
see, right, the minute you see that it has the potential to become something, in my opinion, that's when the conversation should be had. I don't want to fall in love with you and then find out you're $100,000 in debt,
Oh
or that
yes.
your credit score is 520,
Two. It's a
or
two.
but you see what I'm saying? Like I don't need
Oh
to
yeah.
have that conversation once my feelings are involved.
I say
You
that
know?
all the time.
Yeah. And again, the roles tend to change. They have the potential to change. I have a friend, you were talking about the whole I don't need you, I want you, and you are 1,000% correct. He didn't hear anything other than I don't need you, because I have a friend, we were talking about something, this is semi recently, and I was saying to him, we were talking about being in relationships, and I was saying I don't need a man. Would I Do I want one? Shit, anymore, the answer to that is also no. But I don't need a man to live, to make it. Would it be nice to have a second income or somebody else in the house, with my girls, and have that family dynamic? Of course. But he was like, that's what's wrong with you women now. You don't need nobody. You don't. And I'm like, I'm not saying, I guess, I mean I am saying I don't need a man, but at the same time I'm not saying I don't want one per se. I can do without, but I'm not
Right.
saying, like, I don't, sometimes it's hard to articulate because men hear what they want to hear. I don't mean it in a sense that all men are fucking useless and I don't need you. I don't need you. It's not that kind of I don't need you. I'm just letting you know. I've been independent my whole life. I've lived alone for so long that the thought of sharing my space with a man gives me a little bit of anxiety, because I've been in my own household and maintaining my own house for so long. Not to say I haven't had situationships and relationships, but do I need a man to come in and Captain Save a Hoe? Nah, I'm good. Would it be nice? Sure. But I don't need that to survive. That's the point I was trying to make. And I think that's what you were saying as well.
Yeah. But it also goes back to that emotional intelligence. That
Yep.
you heard what
Yep.
you wanted to hear, but you
Yep.
didn't hear what I said.
Yep. Your ego heard one thing, but you didn't
Mm-hmm.
hear what I meant by it, what I said by it. Yeah. Yeah. So we went long on that one, but loss of freedom, less autonomy and decision making and personal time. Everybody loses the personal time when you get married. Am I right? Is that
Yeah,
a
you
fair thing to
combine it.
say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, okay. So you lose your personal time. That was part of you asking me to marry you. You agree. We didn't even have to talk about that. You agreed to that when you asked me. So
Yeah, that you were going to be with me. We're going to be together.
right.
That's the
Right.
whole point.
Do you feel like, I have a friend who was in a relationship. They lived together, they worked together, they took the same time off, vacations, you're spending your vacation with your partner. There is no way in hell I could be with my mate 24/7. I I couldn't do it.
I think you and I talked about this sort of before too, because my husband used to well, he drives trucks, but he used to, do more long distance. And at
Mhm.
one point I thought, we're just gonna sell the house and live in the truck and be together all the time.
Mm.
And I at the time I wanted it. I thought I wanted
Mhm.
it. But yeah, but it didn't happen. And then, later on, I was like, yeah, that would have been a little intense.
You would be
Every
telling
time
this
I turn
story
around,
about
there
your
you are. I can't
ex-husband.
go anywhere. Like we went on
You
a
would.
cruise.
You just sitting on the edge of the bed, and he's sitting right there.
Cruise. The room is about this big, and we had an argument. I sat right there on the edge of that bed. I ain't talking to you.
No, sorry. He's sitting 2 feet away, like that's
So that's
funny.
what it would have been like. We got to be together all the time. Like, where do you
Yeah,
go? Talk now. That's loss of freedom.
yeah,
Like and loss of freedom. It sounds like I'm putting you in a cage.
yeah,
It's just that you
yeah,
come home and I'm here, but
yeah,
I make sure we all have our own space because, like
yeah.
I tell him, like I'm always here. I can do what I want whenever. I said, but you need some alone time too. So I
Hmm.
said, if you want to be alone at the house, perfectly fine.
Hmm.
You need space too. So no,
Yeah,
you're not losing your freedom. I'm not
yeah,
locking you down.
yeah.
If
I
you
think,
want to be, some alone time, ask for it.
yeah. Say that. Say that.
Yeah, just say
Yeah,
what you want. Say what you need.
yeah, yeah. Um. Now, loss of freedom in terms of you're not just walking in and out of here anytime. Like, um, you can't come in 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't care what you say.
You can one time, just one time.
But now, there's a caveat to that as well. There's a caveat. Well, no, there's not. You're not coming in my house 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and we're married. That there's no caveat. I'm okay. You can tell me, hey, I'm going out with the boys. We're gonna be out kind of late. Have fun, enjoy yourself. Don't slip and trip into no pussy. But I'll see you when you get home.
Yeah,
You know. But
absolutely.
yeah, you're not though coming in 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, like or the next day. Don't come home. Don't come home. If the police aren't calling me to bail you out over some dumb shit, you need not come home
Yeah, that's a
unless
big
it's
one
agreed
too. Now.
upon in the beginning. Because like your guy, like I feel like he has to have a life outside of you, just like you have to have a life outside of him. Everything cannot be we, us, we all the time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Again, this is someone who's not married but has been in long-term relationships. I need you to be able to be like, yo, me and the guys are going to Florida to play golf for the weekend. And that's when I'm going to do me. Like,
Yeah.
or I need to be able to say to you, hey, me and Keish are going down to the Keys for the weekend, and him say, oh, have fun. That sounds like fun. Have fun.
Hmm.
So I don't know about the loss of freedom. If you're in a committed relationship where the conversation was had, there
Yeah.
shouldn't be too much freedom to have been lost. Just my thought. I could be wrong.
Absolutely.
Could be wrong. Legal and financial risks in divorce. This goes both ways. Divorce can lead to financial losses, alimony, and custody battles. Um, is alimony still a thing? Is it? I'm not even being funny. Is it?
It's still a
It
thing. But
is.
like you said, most women are, out there making their own money, doing their
Yeah.
own thing. So I don't think it's as big a thing.
Yeah. I'm not
But
talking
I'm sure it
about
still exists.
the I'm not talking about the people we see on TV. I know
Oh yeah,
there's
not
alimony there. I know
yeah,
they
not
still
those.
have it. I'm just talking about in the everyday regular schmegulars. Is that still
Yeah,
a
I'm sure it still exists.
yeah. Okay. Um okay. Um but divorce leading to financial losses, that can go both ways. I don't think that that's just a con for men. I haven't gotten to the con for women yet, but I'm assuming it's in there. Um Alimony, custody battles. If we're being 100% honest, if you take 10 custody battles, um, if it's not, you have to do something really drastic to not get joint custody, I think, right? But most times there aren't. custody battles. It's just the women take the children and the men get them on the weekends or every other weekend. Not every case, so please don't blast me
Yeah, I
immediately.
don't.
But
Yeah,
most
I think
times
yeah, the
that's how
majority
I
of
see
cases
it.
probably yeah, like you said, the woman's going to end up with the child.
Yeah,
But I mean, but sometimes there are, and I think the issue with that though is the adults being foolish. I think
agree.
that's where it comes in. They just want to be spiteful because they're
Yeah,
so angry. They just want to
yeah,
make everybody's life miserable.
yeah,
But I don't think it has to be. If you can, be
yeah,
civil, like it didn't work out with us, but we still
yeah.
have to co-parent.
Yeah, an amicable divorce usually leads to co-parenting and the Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner of it all. You know what I mean? Where everybody is responsible and does their part.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Increased responsibilities, household and familial obligations can feel overwhelming. Again,
man up.
pretty much par for the course. You got married, now you have a whole nother person that you're responsible for keeping happy. It goes both ways. Now if you
True.
choose to be the breadwinner, then you just take what comes with that. That was your, you guys, I hope, discussed that. Now there's also times where things happen and you're married and one loses a job. That's where I can see it becoming stressful because I didn't
Oh yeah,
expect this. This is
right.
new. That I can see. But not when you come in talking about I'm the man. Be the man then.
Wait a
I'm gonna go take a shower.
minute.
You work that shit out.
Right.
Um Potential for emotional stress. Unhappy marriage can lead to anxiety and depression. Again, that goes both ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Everybody
I
goes
hope
into a
these
marriage
I
thinking
hope
it's
some
gonna
of
be
these
great.
are on the women's list as cons as well, because
I
that would
hope
be
so.
bad if it was not.
I know. Let's skip right ahead because I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait to see. Cons for women in marriage: unequal domestic expectations. Women often take on a greater share of housework and childcare. Agreed. Potential loss of independence. Marriage can sometimes limit career growth or personal ambitions. I agree. Risk in divorce. While many face financial loss, women sometimes face economic hardships post divorce. Emotional burden. Women may feel pressure to maintain the emotional well-being of the relationship, which is actually what we talked about before.
Hmm.
And traditional gender roles. Social expectations can lead to frustration if roles feel restrictive. So, unequal domestic expectations. Where are you at with that one? Women
Yeah,
often take on a
absolutely,
greater share of
absolutely.
housework and childcare. Yep.
Yeah, when I did work outside of the house, I would work outside the house just like he worked outside the house. But then I'd come home and take care of the kids when we had the baby, cook the
Mm-hmm.
food, do the laundry. I was like,
Yep.
yeah, but I
Yep.
work too.
Yep. Even if both parents work outside the house, when you come home, 9 times out of 10, that kid's going to see mom for everything.
Mm-hmm. Because they need
And that's
something.
just that's just the way it is. Potential loss of independence, that it can sometimes limit career growth or personal ambitions. What are your thoughts on that? Because I have some, but what are your thoughts?
I think it could, and my thought kind of goes back to um if well, I was in the military, and actually I was single when I was there. However, and of course there were more men in the military than women, and so
Mm-hmm.
when the man needed to change locations, the woman went along. So it was kind
Right.
of hard for her to establish herself. Like she, because I know somebody who's a nurse. You went to school to be a nurse, but now you're
Mm-hmm.
moving all the time, and have to be
Mm-hmm.
certified in different places. So yeah, if the guy is the person who has the maybe making more money, but maybe
Mm-hmm.
he's got some type of career opportunity, then yeah, you may have to pick up and move, or if you can't, maybe you can't work because he's gone all the time, so you've got to take care of the kids.
Right.
So you did mention like stay-at-home dads, but they're the minority.
The
I
minority,
think the
definitely.
woman
Yeah.
is going to usually sacrifice
Yeah.
her career for her family if it comes to that.
Yeah. I do agree that it can sometimes limit career growth or personal ambitions, but this all goes back to, for me, um what conversation are you having before you get married? Is this the kind of thing like, okay, you get to focus on your career for 10 years, then I don't know if that's realistic. You know what I mean? Like, I hear all the time, like, we'll put you through school, and then once you're established, then we'll put me through school. um so I guess I'm in agreement with a question mark, because again, what conversation was had? Like, is it that your career is limited because he doesn't help out around the house, and now you have to do everything, so you can't grow in your career? Like, what's hindering you from growing? That's my question.
Right.
It can't just be because you're married. There has to be
Right.
a reason that you're being hindered from growing in your career or expanding, your career options. So I don't know. Risk and divorce. While men may face financial loss, women sometimes face economic hardships post divorce. Agreed. If Because now, if you have the kids full time, yeah, he may have some financial hardships, but economically, you still got to pay your rent, mortgage, you got to pay your car note, you got to put gas in your car, you got to feed the house, you got to pay your light bill, you got to pay your cable bill. You don't have that second income to do that anymore, whereas he only has himself to take care of. He may have some child support obligations, depending on the judge. How much you pay, is in question, but where are you at with that one?
Well, exactly the same. Exactly. Because, yeah,
Hmm.
like you said, majority of the time, the woman is the one who has the children. And you're right. She still has to pay for all the things she has to pay for.
Right,
And, unless you are one of these people that, superstars that get $1 million a month for child support or
right,
whatever,
right.
a lot of times, from what I've experienced,
Hmm.
from real life people, me, it doesn't always cover it, especially if you want to do something with your children. Because if
Yeah,
you got the kids in all these activities,
yeah.
it's like, cheerleading is expensive. I had no
Yes, it
idea.
is.
Gymnastics, shoot, all of it, jujitsu. So now
Yes.
that you don't have that second income, but you're still wanting the child to do something, and now you have to find the time to take them as well. It's like, no,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that's a hardship.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. I don't know that I have any more to say on that front, because I do feel like in a separation, if you don't have the kids, your life is a little bit easier.
Yeah,
Um, Emotional burden. Women may feel pressure to maintain the emotional well-being of the relationship. We were kind of talking about that earlier, about how women kind of hold kind of the glue,
mm-hmm.
to because men aren't emotionally mature sometimes, not all the time.
Sometimes.
I would, I wish we had had this conversation and had one of our male guests.
I, I
I
thought of
wonder
the
if we
exact
should
same thing.
revisit this. Like, I would love to revisit this same exact topic, but with a male point of view. And I want a married man and a single man.
Ooh,
I would be
absolutely.
curious. Or even a divorced man and a married man. I mean, he's still single, but I mean, having the
But right,
background
who's
of
been right?
having been married as
Oh,
opposed to
yeah.
never been married.
What I was thinking, kind of through the whole thing, is what's the I know we have pros and cons, but realistically, what's the benefit of getting married? Like, do people still get married? You know?
Right. The divorce rate is so high that I know it used to be 50%. And I don't know if it's still, find out, but what, I can't type the.
But yeah, because I'm wondering, like, yeah, what? Because yeah, I think the biggest thing is the financial. Yeah, because it can be inexpensive to get married, but we talked about that before. Depends on how much you want
Hmm.
to spend, but it can be very expensive to unmarry.
Yeah. Whew. Whew. It says here, just general divorce, um the divorce rate is around 42%, with 86 divorces occurring every hour.
Good
The rate has
Lord.
been steadily declining over the past few decades. I thought it was the opposite, reaching
Yeah.
a 40-year low in 2020 and 2021, and a 14 divorce per 1,000 married women. However, rose slightly. So if that's a fact, then it's actually going down, because I do remember at one time it was at like 50%.
That's
So
what I
it's
remember too.
decreased. But my gosh, the expense. Why does it cost so much to get divorced? Why is it so much trouble to get divorced and so easy to get married?
Yeah. So I think when we talked about the marriage when we did, and I said something like it should be something at the bottom. It's just like you just sign this and tear it off if you decide to undo it. But yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why it is. It's I guess because you have to unweave everything.
I mean,
You know.
even just an uncontested divorce is like $400. Uncontested. You both agree to divorce and go your separate ways. That's
Yeah.
even money. Like, I don't understand. I went with a friend of mine to the courthouse because we were going to try to do it ourselves, because her and her husband had been separated for so long. But yeah, so all this time had passed. So we're like, you know what? How hard can it be? Yo, we went to the courthouse. No lie, it was like a stack of papers this big. I was like, what? So now I see like why attorneys, I guess, charge so much, because it's a lot of paperwork or whatever. But also, it's harder for women than it is for men. Are we changing our name, or are we just going to keep
Oh,
this man's last name?
don't
Because to
don't
change your
not talk
name,
about the name.
right? To change the name, you got to change a birth. I mean, social security
Social
card. You got
security
to change your
card,
driver's license,
ugh,
bank account. Everything got to
bank
be
accounts.
changed.
It's a lot.
Not only that, think about when you're filling out information, and it's asked you, have you ever gone by a different name? Men don't have that problem. Women have that problem, because yes, I did go by a different name because I had my maiden name, and now I got this motherfucker's name. Now I got to answer that. Like, see,
See,
I feel like Eddie Murphy. I did this. I'm not getting married. That's what this
why do
has
you
taught
need
me.
to? Why do you need to
Exactly.
get your long term partner? What's the piece of paper? What's that to? Like I
Exactly.
said, in order other than tax benefits.
What's the purpose?
Oh, but you know what we did forget before we go. I don't know if you can see mine.
I can't. What's it say?
I know we should do it at 2 different times. Let me see yours.
Okay. Well, mine are hard because it's on the side. Can you see it?
Oh, bad words. You got
You
bad
know I
words.
have
Do
a
I have
theme.
those?
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I should have worn mine. I got some. They're not the same ones, but these. And then again, it's hard to see. These are my
Get close.
Einstein socks.
Oh,
E equals
smarty.
MC squared.
Yes, I see it.
I,
Oh, smarty.
girl, I found them at the thrift store. Brand new. They weren't worn
Really?
already.
You ain't
I
use a
saw
string.
them.
You ain't put your feet in a stranger's socks.
Brand new. Brought them home. Washed them first. Took them out the package. Washed them. But
Okay.
yeah, my genius socks. I feel
I
smarter
like
wearing
them.
them.
I do like them. You
Yeah.
are one of them smarty oddies. Well, darling, we are going to be editing the shit out of this. And when I say we, I mean you, because you're the guru. Um, hope you
We
got a
get it down to
sound
30
bite.
minutes.
Right. This is 2 episodes, part 1 and part 2. Not a bad idea. We can do a different intro, and we're cutting this out, right? We can stop
Sure, why not?
recording. Okay. Are you picking up what we're putting down? If so, now's the time to like, follow, subscribe, and share. We'd also love to hear from you. Give us a call at 757-504-4649, or you can email us at lifecracksusup@gmail.com, or just drop us a comment. If you're so inclined, do all 3.
Thank you for hanging out with us. Be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe, and look for a new episode every Wednesday. Hi, I'm Lakeisha. Hey, I'm Natalie.
And this is
Life Cracks Us Up.
Are you picking up what we're putting down? Are you enjoying the content? Is there feedback you'd like to provide or topics you'd like to discuss? How about you give us a call and share your thoughts? 757-504-4649. That's 757-504-4649. We would love to hear from you.